When board members are assigned to committees, there are a couple of things that I would consider related to the oversight of educational quality. First, I think it's a good idea to make sure that we have on each board someone who understands the academy. So a former president, faculty from a nearby institution, or an alum who's a faculty member at a different institution. That's very helpful to have somebody who serves sometimes as the translator in educational conversations. In appointment to committees, I think it's useful to have new board members serve on the academic affairs or the education committee. That's a way for them to get to know quickly what's the product, what's the process, what are we here for, what's the mission. And that's a good place for a board member to get his feet wet or her feet wet. I think having some continuity on a committee, board committee, is important so that people who are introduced to the committee, some of them want to stay, continue to work through projects, longer discussions than might be begun and ended in 1 year's time. While I don't believe that faculty should be serving on the board of the institution where they teach, I think it can be helpful to have faculty serve on board committees where they can bring expertise and experience, a huge body of knowledge to the conversation that the board committee needs to engage in. And so that can be a very useful appointment. You can also appoint students to these committees as well because they're the recipient of the process and they have something to say as well. The oversight of educational quality can't be the responsibility of a committee. It starts there, but that responsibility has to be transferred and acted on by the full board. And so it's important for the committee, whether it's an academic affairs committee or an education committee, it's important for that committee to find a way to report out to the full board to bring them into the conversations that they have. Staffing of the Academic Affairs Committee is important, and it's typically staffed by the chief academic officer, the provost of the university or the college. That person obviously brings a wealth of information about what's going on campus, what's going on with faculty, what's going on in the classroom. But that individual's job is not to lead the committee. With the chair of the committee, the provost or the chief academic officer can help shape an agenda, can make sure that the right information is provided to the committee members, that they have ample time for the conversations that they need and all the resources that are important. But it should be that the committee itself is owning this conversation, it's owning the work, and it's learning as it goes about the importance of oversight of educational quality. That then needs to be translated to the board. It needs to be transferred to the board so that the important decisions related to the academic programs and the educational experience of the campus, the delivery of the mission, if you will, is owned by the board as a whole. I think finally, board members need to remember that the mission of the institution is education. Service on the Education or the Academic Affairs Committee is a really important job because it directly relates back to that mission and how it is delivered. So I would encourage board members to get to know the curriculum, understand the faculty's role, and understand their own role, and how those players can work together to make sure that the educational experience is of the highest possible quality for the students who are enrolled at the institution.